Hey, good morning, sports fans. Louis Diamond live in our Las Vegas handicapping studios. And it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. We've had plenty of football in the rearview mirror, but there's plenty of football looking forward as well. So I had a little rough day in football yesterday. Had a great day in college baskets. Again, my college basketball system seems to be going in the right direction. We'll talk about that in a minute. We got a lot of college football. I'm joined today with Las Vegas handicapper Chip Chirimbus. I believe Chip's in the box. And if not, I have Tony Gullidge down there in Arizona. We got a new handicapper here with us today, and it is Lord Chumley. So that will be maybe our new Madonna, the one-man handicapper, one-named handicapper, Mr. Chumley. So we'll see what he has to offer. He's a Big Ten guy, so we got some Big Ten action for you today. So let me welcome the gentleman to the show. Good morning, gentlemen. I hope you guys all had a very good Thanksgiving. How you doing this morning, Tony? How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Lou. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. Chip, good morning to you. Welcome back again. Glad to see you in the box.
Good morning, Lou. Thank you very much. Very fortunate to go 2-1 with my top plays yesterday, though we missed the big one.
Well, but I saw you had some winners in the box there yesterday, so you made a few people some winners, and obviously we had a little slip on our big games yesterday, and that's going to happen. And our new handicapper doesn't quite look like Madonna, but you want to know something? I'll bet you he can dance like her. So, Mr. Chumley, welcome to Bettor Center. How are you today?
Hey, welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
Welcome aboard. Looking forward to see what you have to offer for us. I know you're a Big Ten handicapper, Chumley, as you explained, but we're going to go over a few little games. So I'll throw it to you once in a while. If you don't have anything on the game, just say no opinion, Lou, and we'll move forward. All right. So that being said, you guys weren't with me yesterday. I have a college basketball system that the first day had 42 plays. Second day had 6 plays. Yesterday had 15 plays. And right now we are we got some solid winners going. I believe we are at, I'll get to the record here in a second, the exact record. It was 28-17 yesterday. So we went 7-4-4. So we're 35 and 24, 30, 35, 21, and 7 is the current college basketball record. It's the best record in the country. I know it is. Nobody's played that many games already. And if they did, they're not doing that good. And if they are, where the hell are you? Call me. So, but right now, we're hitting them. And I got a bunch of plays out there today that you're definitely going to want to take advantage of. We'll get to that in a little bit. So, but let's get us started with some college football here today. And our first game on the board was supposed to be a doozy, but it's certainly a snoozy right now. And that is Penn State. The total's 58. They're playing Michigan. The game is a pick 'em. It was opened up at -3. And I know, Tony, you got a little something on this game to offer for us right now. Let me, I'll let you shoot. Current line right now is a pick 'em, 56.5. What do you got, Tony?
I just wanted to throw out there, Lou. Actually, I got my best play in college football yesterday. I went with the Irish, like their defense against North Carolina. It worked out well. North Carolina scored touchdowns on their first 2 possessions of the game. Then the rest of the way, they only put up 3 points total. Notre Dame dominated the second half. Just able to punch in, get enough points on the board to get the spread covered. In college basketball, off to a 3-0 start with my best bet plays for my service. On the Bettor Center site, I've only put 1 play up as a bookie buster in college basketball, and I was basically trying to get anybody I knew with a breath and a dollar in their pocket to bet on Belmont Thanksgiving Day. It was a total mismatch. I was able to get some money spread around. I felt good. Great call, and it actually came out the way I thought it would. And so with that said, let's go to Michigan, Penn State today. Since the change in the quarterbacks, it seemed to make a difference for me. I like what I see from Michigan immediately. Looks like the much crisper team. I'm going to just take them against Penn State. How woeful can they be? They've had 2 or 3 spots already where it's the season's on the line. This is the worst they've ever done in school history, and they keep losing. I just don't think they were prepared to play the season. It just doesn't seem like to me. Michigan, plenty of problems, plenty of issues. But in a matchup like this in Ann Arbor, I just feel like Michigan's a little stronger, playing a little better currently. So with basically no spread to deal with, I'm going to take Michigan to get the win here today.
All right, Tony G with the little Michigan. Now, Chip, I know you have a paid play for this game, so you're feeling pretty good about it on the side. I don't want you to tip your hand on the side, but if there's anything you'd like to offer on the game, now's the time.
Well, Tony, Louis, thank you. 134 years it's been for Penn State to go 0-5. Never happened in school history. They're 0-5. I had them last week. This week, it's a different story against Michigan, who is also in the doldrums this year, struggling the entire season. Opened with a win over Minnesota, who everyone thought was powerful this year. And, of course, the Golden Gophers are as weak as anybody out there. But this is a great matchup. It's a Big Ten matchup. It's too bad it's happening the way it is, where these two great football prestigious schools come in limping. And Penn State particularly, they may have outgained a number of opponents, but they just commit too many errors. But I got the winner at Louis Diamond. Is it louisdiamond.com or bettercenter.com? But either way, we have the winner listed for you right there.
All right. Yes, that'll be bettercenter.com. So we're going to put louisdiamond.com on the side, and bettercenter.com is where you will get the hottest handicappers in the land. And Chip is hot right now, and he does have a play with Penn State and Michigan. That being said, we got our new Big Ten handicapper in the house, Lord Chumley. Bring it to us. What are your thoughts on Penn State and Michigan here today?
Yeah, both teams have underwhelmed the whole season. I just think that right now I'd have to back Michigan at a pick 'em. The quarterback change, I agree with Tony on that. That's, I think, going to make a little difference, and I think they'll get it done at home today and cover the pick 'em. And I would probably lean toward the over also, but that's not going to be an official play for me. But I like Michigan today at home.
All right, so we got a couple limpers on Michigan, but Chip is making a 3-bet here with this play here today. So you're going to want to get out to bettercenter.com and give Chip a little love on this game, because the rest of us seem to be limping here today. All right, so that being said, again, let's go to our next game on the schedule. Now we got Trevor Lawrence, after a month of action, finally getting back under center for Clemson. And this could just be the biggest blowout on the board. I said it last week on a game, and it was completely the opposite. So, but Clemson gets their pieces together here today. It could be a very, very long day for the Pittsburgh Panthers. And currently, right now, I have a line of Clemson minus 24. So there's been some action on Pitt. Went from 26 down to 24. And the total went from 55 up to 58. So we got a little Pitt and over action. I can't see playing Pitt in this scenario. And let's see what the experts have to say. I'll start with you on this one, Chip. Pittsburgh, Clemson.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the Tigers are all they've been cracked up to be. We've got all the media hype on them the entire year. And Trevor Lawrence may not even be the best quarterback in college football. We've got a guy out in BYU named Zach Wilson that can throw the ball. Another guy named Matt Jones at Alabama that can throw the ball. I'm really wondering if Lawrence is the top pick. Clemson's been a little bit disappointing. They had to come back from a 28-3 deficit to beat Boston College. We know that they've had other struggles out there. They did lose to Notre Dame. Huge favorite here at home. And Pittsburgh has the return of their quarterback, and I think that could be the difference here. The Panthers, they can play football at a college level with just about anybody. They did get annihilated by Notre Dame earlier in the year, so maybe this is a measuring stick for the Clemson Tigers.
All right. Well, Pittsburgh, they're 3-8-1 against the number of their last 12 games, so they're not setting any records here. But one spot you want to look out for them is when they are playing a road game versus a winning team. It's the one time they do show up 16-7-3 on the road versus a winning team. Chumley, you got any opinion on that?
Yeah, I think personally, I do think Lawrence is the best quarterback in the country, and I think he's going to come out after having a game or two off and make a statement. I see Clemson covering the spread pretty easily myself. Pitt just doesn't have enough firepower. I see Clemson making a big statement today.
All right, Chumley in my corner here with a little bit of Clemson love. I'm not high on Clemson, but I got to believe that's the only way to play. But if I really thought it was the only way to play, I'd be high on it. So, all right, Tony G, what do you got for us in this Clemson matchup?
It's literally been about a month since Trevor Lawrence has been able to play. Looking back now, I found it shameful that the kid was forced to stand on the sideline wearing a mask while his team took on Notre Dame. Perfect, fine health. The only thing they lacked was the results from a cardiovascular exam. I didn't even realize it was just the results. He'd already taken the test, and obviously the kid was fine. So, there's a lot going on. Dabo's kind of upset with the way things went with that, and he's also upset about the way things went when he went down to play Florida State last week. This team's fired up, and I've seen this numerous times this year, 2020, with this issue with the COVID, when these kids have been forced to sit and wait a couple weeks. Wisconsin did it. There's a long list of teams that have had to do it, and when they've stepped back on the field, they've come with a ferocity. I think Clemson has a little bit of chip on their shoulder. They were forced to play not their best hand when they played Notre Dame. I think you're going to see a team motivated to play cosmetically sound. They're going to look to beat Pittsburgh. And I will note for Pittsburgh, they played some really close games. NC State, they lost by a really close score. But they also played close games against bad teams like Syracuse. I believe that was a close game for them also. So Pitt, what you see is what you get. I like that Chip did mention the Pittsburgh 45-3 loss. That was a game I was on Notre Dame. I believe it was about a 9.5, 10-point spread. And it was kind of one of those spots where the spread wasn't too high. So I took Notre Dame. So, I would use that as a measuring stick here. I think you'll see something similar. I don't think Clemson's defense is quite as good as Notre Dame, but I'm expecting an offensive explosion from Clemson here. Let's see how it plays out. But I really think Clemson blows the doors off Pittsburgh today.
All right, looking for a blowout there. And if you're looking for the blowout, there's that potential of the over here today as well. 6 straight overs for the Pittsburgh Panthers, 4 on the road. The only worrisome spot is 11-2 to the under when they are a road underdog and they cover versus winning teams on the road. Will that matter here today? That's tough to bet on just that. I will say that. Clemson comes with 4 straight overs as well. So I'm going to lean a little bit on that over, but I definitely agree with 3 out of 4 here with going with Clemson here today. So, all right, next game on our schedule, another Big Ten matchup, and we'll see what Mr. Chumley can bring to the table for us. We got Northwestern minus 13.5 at Michigan State. The total is 41.5. Boy, that Michigan State total that is a low college number. Almost want to play over just because it's so low. And the total, the line right now currently 13.5. Chumley, let's start with you. Give us some Big Ten stuff.
Last week I'm a Wisconsin guy, but Tony and I both agreed on Northwestern. Fitzgerald just has the Badgers number, and they came to play. They got a little help from the refs, obviously, in the first half. But Tony and I talked last night about the under in this game, and I was going to release the under, but I kind of got scared away from it. I think Northwestern, they're playing for to get in the college playoffs, and Michigan State is just decimated. I think Northwestern's going to pretty much shut them out, and I think they're still covered the 13.5 today.
All right, looking to double down on Northwestern. Yes, Tony and I had Northwestern. Ross gave us Northwestern in that angle last week, and they cashed that ticket, and they win outright. Yes, with a little help in the first half. But at the same time, nice dog wins outright. I got to be a little worried that second week on the zigzag. Tony, What are you thinking on the zigzag here?
Well, here's my deal with Northwestern. I've been great with them. I like what I saw defensively, as solid as a rock. Offensively, very, very basic vanilla. Now, the key for the opponent is you have to be able to stop the vanilla. If you can't stop the run up the gut or the right tackle dives that they do, seem on 3rd and 6, they'll do a handoff into the pile. So Northwestern isn't going to blow your doors off, and that is my only concern. This is why this was not my bookie buster, is the Northwestern lack of scoring punch. You look at every game they've played, it's around 20 points. If you get any more, it's kind of luck. So it is a kind of a tough spot coming off that huge win. You expect a lull, and if I'm not mistaken, they have a big game next week. So it's definitely in that middle lull spot. But here's the key for me. Michigan State is so bad that I think Northwestern will be able to get over the hump in the lull, cover the spread. The offense of Michigan State, as I've said this several times, I don't think a team in college football runs their offense as poorly as Michigan State. The execution, the Rocky kid, I think he got pulled from the last game. He had 1 or 2 good games, but other than that, he's been just total dumpster fire every time he's went back to throw the ball. Northwestern is going to get the best of them on defense. It's just a matter of any kind of quirky play can throw the spread into question, but I feel Northwestern is just too strong, and I'm giving out a score here. Northwestern beats Michigan State 27-3.
Ooh, 27-3, throwing out the 3, just the gimme field goal to keep the goose egg off the board. That's where he's going with this one. All right, Tony's busting out a score for you. You know, when he busts out them scores, it's been pretty good. So, all right, so now we have a couple what the hell are we talking about? We got a couple guys going again with Northwestern. Damn it. All right, Chip, what do you got?
Well, I'll tell you, I've got a lot more going for me than Michigan State does. That's for sure. I mean, this team is horrid, and I understand everyone looking for them to just get totally pounded here. The thing about this game is Northwestern's attitude. I mean, they came up with a big game against Wisconsin, defeating them 17-7 last week, but they were outgained by 103 yards. This team is 5-0, and in 3 of their 5 games, they've been outgained by their opponents. They're not an offensive juggernaut. They get it done defensively. And we know Michigan State just can't move the ball. What you said, Louis, about this total at 41 being such a low college number, it's one of the first things I noticed. And most likely this game probably stays under the total. I'm just worried about Northwestern's psychological attitude after that huge win against Wisconsin. Are they going to be able to maintain that same level? I do think there will be a drop. How much of a drop, we don't know. Michigan State's had 2 weeks to lick their wounds. They've been pounded the last 2 times out. So I think that Michigan State just has trouble scoring, and most likely the under may be the way to go. If I had to play a side, I'd take the points because I don't know what Northwestern's attitude is coming into this game.
Yeah, Northwestern will probably be a little flat. The under is probably the play, but man, that's just too low of a number. Way too low of a number. Northwestern, 8 straight covers at Michigan State. 4 straight overs with these 2 teams head to head. The road team 14-2 against the number here by the underdog 11-5. So there's definitely some interesting trends there for both teams, but obviously the edge goes towards the Northwestern Wildcats here today, and we'll see what happens in the game. All right, next game on our schedule will feature from first to worst the LSU Tigers. And they are playing at Texas A&M, and A&M is a 14.5-point favorite. The total is 62, and we'll start here with you, Tony. What do you have with LSU and A&M? Actually down to 61 right now, and the line is up to 15.5. So A&M getting some love, and so is the under.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going on my quick glance at my notes here. I noted that LSU, we did have them when they clipped on the road at Arkansas after the humiliating 48-11 loss to Auburn. They were supposed to have played Alabama in between, but the game got postponed. So that game is scheduled later. So it was kind of a weird scheduling quirk. I think this is going to be an interesting spot for A&M here. All the pressure's on them. They're just outside the top 4 playoff bubble, looking in, glaring in, hoping for an opportunity. Meanwhile, LSU, defensively, I don't like them. There's a huge drop-off. You watch the play on the field. There's nothing like last year. The offense is capable, okay? So that's where I think you can maybe view this as an opportunity to play the dog. It's not obviously not an elite play for me, but I think in this play, it's a tough spot for A&M with all this pressure. I think they're going to be more focused on just getting through some of these games, and I think this is a spot to play the underdog. I'm taking LSU in a big battle full of points here. It's a lot of points to give even a down LSU team. I think that's a little too many points to give them.
All right. The favorite, 8-1, the last 9 meetings, Tony. I'm not sure if you knew
LSU
that, but I don't
killed
know
them
how.
last year. Yeah, LSU was 50-7. I think if we look down that list, Lou, I think you're going to see most of those are going to be LSU beating the shit out of Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah. Nine straight covers.
Yeah, so with that said, that's why you're going to go from a team crushing it. It was 50-7 last year, so it's almost like a horse for the course type mentality where I think LSU may feel somewhat comfortable playing them since they've done so well. The coaching staff, they know how to prepare for this team. I just think it's too many points to give LSU, even a down LSU team. I think that's an ambitious spread for A&M to cover in what could be a tough spot. And it's a lot of pressure on them right now. They're under the spotlight. They're just outside that playoff bubble. So there's a lot of pressure on A&M right now.
All right. Chip, what are your thoughts? LSU and Texas A&M.
Hoax. This team didn't even belong on the same field when they played Alabama, and they played them at home. I just don't see it. I'll take LSU here in the points. I know there's a big drop-off from last season, obvious. But this point, what you say, they won 8 or 9 in a row against this Aggie team? I'll take the Tigers here.
They've owned them, Chip. Yeah, they've owned this team, Chip, for like many years now.
I like that. So I would probably take I'd have to take LSU here just because I'm still angry at A&M for the way they got blown out against Alabama.
All right, so we got some under trends for both of these two teams. Seem to be playing to the under. 11-5 to the under for LSU. Their last 5, 16 as an underdog. 7-2 to the under on the road. 5-1 to the under for the Aggies when they are a favorite. But 10-4 to the over. Their last 14 at home. Chumley, you have anything to offer in this game?
I don't have a play on this game, but I tend to agree with Tony and Chip that I would lean toward the points. LSU is still a better than average team, and 14.5 is a lot to cover. I would lean toward LSU in the points.
All right, so we got a little love for LSU today. If I had to do it, I'd have to grab the points as well, but I can't see me really dabbling in this matchup here today. So let's go over to our next game on the schedule. Well, this one's got a little Big Ten in it for you, Chumley, so we'll hit you first. Maryland at Indiana. Indiana, 12-point favorite, having a pretty awesome season, and total is 64. Let me see if we got any movement on that one recently. So I'm not seeing the line real quick, but I'll let you start with this one, Chumley. Maryland at Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana's been my favorite team so far this year. They've covered for me every week. Last week I gave out my college game of the year on them, and even though I had to sweat that out as they were kind of getting blown out at halftime, they came back and had a nice second half. I honestly think Maryland plus 12 is the way to go in this one. They've had a couple weeks to prepare for it. Indiana off this game with Ohio State. I just think I lean toward the over. I see it like a 34-31 type game, 38-31, but I think Maryland plus the points is going to get it done today.
All right, Maryland. Chumley grabbing them points with Maryland. I will agree with you. That was a big game for Indiana last week. They left it all on the field in the second half and came up short. Does that make them hungry this week, or does that make them sore? Chip, any thoughts here?
Yeah, my first thoughts were that I was so disappointed that Ohio State-Maryland game was canceled. I was looking to play against Maryland, who had won twice as 20-point underdogs outright. And they had an extra week here. And this week, I think it's 2-2. I'm going to take Maryland. I'll take the points. I just, Indiana's going to have they don't have to have a little letdown, but I anticipate that they are going to have a little bit of a letdown. Maryland's exciting now with Tua at quarterback. He looks like a mirror image of his older brother. One's left-handed, one's right-handed, but I'd take Maryland plus the points.
All right, Tagliafiello is one of the favorites in the NFL and potentially one of Chip's favorites in college football right now. Tony, Maryland, Indiana. I know you got a little love on this one, right?
Yeah, obviously Indiana, big comeback, down 35-7 after halftime. A few minutes into the third quarter, they go down 28. They do regather. Maybe Ohio State let off just a touch. I don't want to take anything away from Indiana coming back, losing 42-35. I've been on Indiana, but I was actually a smaller play on Ohio State, so I stubbed my toe, tipped the cap to Indiana. But this is definitely a trough if you're looking for energy and anticipation. They had Ohio State last week. Next week they got Michigan. This week it's like a buffer game against Maryland. Maryland's had the COVID thing again. Here's another team fits right into it. They've had to sit off. They had a game postponed. They haven't played since November 7th. 21 days. They're going to be a lot of energy. Any guy that was like nicked up is going to be fully healed, I'm sure. Probably going to get a good effort from Maryland here. If you're an Indiana backer, be careful today, man. This has got all the bells and whistles of a trap. I like Maryland. To say straight up is kind of tough, man. But if you threw a little dabble on the money line, it wouldn't be the worst bet you made today. I think Maryland plus the 12 is a solid, rock solid play.
All right, Tony going with Maryland plus the 12 here. Here, I'm putting this right up here. Guys, college basketball picks. Well, how the hell am I going to get this done? All right.
Back it
See
up.
that?
Yeah.
BettorCenter.com. Go to BettorCenter.com on Facebook. Yeah, fake book. Go on BettorCenter.com and you will see today I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 college basketball plays. My current record, 35 wins, 21 losses, 7 pushes, really because games were canceled, not because they all landed on pushes. So, and 7-4-4 yesterday. And I forgot how many plays I said I got, but I got a lot of plays out there today. That doesn't mean you bet every single play unless you want to bet small little round robins, 10-cent, 25-cent round robins, roll them out, get yourself into the basketball, I guess, groove a little bit. But really what it's for is to play every game evenly, okay? If you play every game evenly on this system, as you can see right now, you know, it's a pretty solid system working this year so far. And obviously all the sample sizes came in a couple days, so it's tough to make 42 bets. So it's not like we rein in the money here right now. But what we're seeing is the system is working. So it's time to be betting these games until we see otherwise. So find a relative number that's good for you. Find a way to bet these college games. I'm giving them to you free every day on the Facebook page. Go to BettorCenter.com on Facebook. It's the only place you're going to get those plays free every day. So you have to go there, and you will get these system plays for free. So please join us at BettorCenter.com, and please subscribe on YouTube at Louis Diamond on YouTube. So this way you get our information as soon as we get it out to you. So we got one more game to cover, and then we'll have a most interesting play here today. So let's talk about that Colorado-San Diego State game. And I'm going to start with you, Tony, because I know you had a play on this one. Colorado -3, total 51. What are your thoughts, Tony?
Hey, man, this game was just thrown together last second, right? They had the games canceled. I just noted that I think this is going to favor Colorado, obviously being at home. San Diego State, I was trying to find out how many games they've played at altitude. I'm assuming not a ton. So I think all the advantages here is Colorado, and the key thing here, this is more of a strategical following my handicapping and power ratings. I think this is a good, solid, what I would basically refer to as a soft number on Colorado. I think everybody's thrown this together, including the books. So that's kind of a scramble for everybody. But I think sneaking in this, when was it? Wednesday or Thursday, I think, when they announced this. Basically, when they canceled the games, postponed the games they were supposed to play, they throw this game together. And I kind of like it. That's the spontaneity you've got to live your life with in 2020, right? So I just think it's a smaller play, obviously. This is an action play, something to wet the whistle with. Colorado -3 against San Diego State.
All right. I see a little bit under on this matchup if I'm going based upon the trends. I'll get to those in a minute. Let's see if, Chip, you have any opinion on this game?
I'm quite surprised that a Pac-12 team is only a field goal favor over a Mountain West team, particularly a Mountain West team that lost last week. I believe they got beat by Nevada. So my instinct here would be to take the points and take the Aztecs, though I'm very respectful of this Colorado team. There's first-year coach who coached at UCLA a number of years ago, and he has the Buffaloes running the ball. So I'm surprised that this line is as short as it is, and I'm also surprised that this matchup even came together. Like Tony said, they just threw this one at you. I think the line is short here. I'd take San Diego State to bounce back.
All right. Thank you, Chip. And don't forget, Chip has the shopping cart loaded out there on bettorcenter.com. He's got 4 games out there today. You can pick them all up. I'm sorry, 3 plays out there, 4 packages. You can pick up all 3 games for as little as $99 if you go out to bettorcenter.com, or he's got some out there. Just want to grab 1 game, $39. So give Chip a little love. He's providing a lot of good information for you, and I look for that to continue here today. And this game, like I was saying, San Diego State, Colorado, looks like an under to me. 8-1 to the under for the Aztecs. Their last 10 road games, 22-5 to the under following an ATS loss, 17-5 to the under following a straight up loss, 20-7 to the under as a road underdog. But all that's pretty common when you are 56-27-2 to the under your last 85 games. So you got a lot of reason to be riding your Aztecs under. And the Buffalo, 16-5 to the under versus the Mountain West. So that's going to be my most interesting play of the day here today, will be that one to the under. And with that being said, let's get to our most interesting play of the day. We'll start with Chumley. Now, if you have anything on the San Diego, Colorado game, feel free to add that. And if not, give us your most interesting play of the day.
Yeah, I have no opinion on the Colorado game, but I'm going to go with Maryland as my most interesting play of the day. I think that they're going to be ready. Indiana's going to have a little letdown, and I think they could pull off the upset. I'm going to play a little on the money line, but definitely going to have Maryland as my top Big Ten play of the day today, plus the points. So that's what I have.
All right, Lord Chumley starts out Bettor Center with Maryland, a big fat doggy looking for the dog to bark on his opening day on Bettor Center. And usually that first play is usually a winner, guys. So I'd pay attention to that one here today. Chip, most interesting play of the day.
Well, I'm going to go to the Iron Bowl, not the Orange Bowl. A 24-point favorite, Alabama at home. This is one of the biggest rivalries in college sports, if not in all the sports. Auburn upset Alabama last year. I think it was 48-45, but there's no way they're scoring that many points this week. Not with Bo Nix running the show, the biggest hoax in college sports. He's the poor man's Tim Tebow, very inaccurate passing the ball, and Alabama will shut him down offensively. I look for the Crimson Tide to rout and just run away from the Auburn Tigers, who I think are really kind of feeble this year.
It seems like Bo Nix just has a great name. He's been a disappointment, But like when you get those names with the quarterback, you think you got something,
Yeah, really.
At this time. what are you doing? All right, so we'll leave it with Mr. Gullidge. Sing us out a solid winner out the door. What do you got? Most interesting play of the day.
Leading right into my little promo as the Iron Bowl is my bookie buster play for this week. 7-3 coming into today. Uh, Rhode Island off a couple close losses against much better competition. I like that. I think that makes the line here soft. Yeah, I like the bookie buster. There it goes. There goes the motor. I love it, Gene. Thanks, Gene. 7-3 on those plays. 70, a crisp 70% with those bookie buster plays. I've got my play up now at the Bettor Center site. It's on the Alabama-Auburn game. I'll give you everything I got, tell you why I like it, and the play is available. You don't want to miss it. I think you're going to take this one straight to the window with a clean winner. And just a minute, most interesting play. I saw the audio, little transmission problems there for a second. Rhode Island, so far in college basketball, my full package for everybody, 9-5-1 overall, but more importantly, a perfect 3-0 with the best bet plays in college basketball out of the gate. I'm not, and 1-0 with the bookie busters on the site. This is my college basketball best bet. It's not the bookie buster on the site, but I'm 3-0 with my best bets. It's Rhode Island off 2 losses with a good spread +1, and you get their opponent South Florida, whose only game they played, they got a 10-point win against like NAIA Florida College. They didn't play a great game. So I think this is a nice soft spot for a team, Rhode Island, already tested against good competition, to get a win against South Florida. That's my most interesting play of the day, Lou.
All right. Sorry about that. We had a little transmission issue in the middle, but Tony finally got it out, and he's got Rhode Island as his most interesting play of the day. And that pretty much wraps us up here for the day. You got a lot of picks for us. Don't forget, if you go to the Facebook, bettorcenter.com on Facebook, you got a bunch of college basketball winners out there. We're winning right now, and they're coming at you for free. And if you really want to get serious, don't forget Chip and Ross and Tony all have solid plays out on bettorcenter.com, where you can go out there and make sure you have a winning day here today. You got some good pros here, guys, giving you the information at reasonable prices. So please show a little love over there at bettorcenter.com. We will be back here tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to go over all the NFL games. For Tony, Chumley, and Chip, I'd like to thank you for joining us. I'd like to thank them for joining us and getting you some solid information. And we will see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific time here on Bettor Center Live.